point is state of matter. The matter, that term that we have already discussed. Matter means anything you see around yourself, that is called matter. Matter is anything that has mass and volume. Now we will see the state of matter. Total there are three state of matter. Number one solid, liquid, and last one is a gas. So there are total three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. We all know that in case of solid, the particles are very close to each other. Particle means atoms, molecules, or ions. These particles are very close to each other. That is why solid contains strong force of attraction. In case of liquid, the force of attraction is weak among the particles. Why? Because the particles in case of liquid are away from each other. They touch to each other, but they are away from each other. That is why in case of liquid, the force of attraction between the particle is less as compared to the solid. And when we talk about gas, the particles are far away from each other. That is why force of attraction in case of gaseous state or gaseous substance is almost weak one, or we can say that the force of attraction in case of gaseous substance is absent. So three states: solid, liquid, gas. In case of solid, the force of attraction is strong. In case of liquid, the force of attraction between the particle is less, and in case of gaseous substance, the force of attraction between the particle is very poor, or we can say that it is almost absent. Then we have two categories of properties of matter: physical property and chemical property, that we have already discussed. Physical property means molecular mass, weight, or we can say that density, or temperature, length, volume, then melting point, boiling point. So these are some physical properties of the substances. Then chemical properties mean chemical reactions. So what is the difference between physical property and chemical property, that we have already seen in the last part. Physical property means the property when you measure, the chemical composition of that substance will not change. For example, the molecular formula of liquid water is H2. Then the formula for ice is H2, and the formula for water vapor is also H2. Means all three stages, the formula of that substance will not change. It will be H2, H2, and H2. So these are called physical properties. The properties when you measure, the chemical composition of that substance will not change. But in case of chemical property, means chemical reaction, the chemical composition of that substance will change. The example for that we have already seen, when you react water with sodium metal, or when you put small sodium piece into the water, water loses its identity and it is converted to new product. Which one? Sodium hydroxide or H2. So in case of chemical properties, when you measure, the chemical composition of that substance will change and it undergoes chemical change and new product is formed. But in case of physical properties, when you measure, the chemical composition of that substance is not changing or will not change. Then we have the measurement of properties of matter. How will you measure this property? So by using units. So units means the arbitrarily decided and universally accepted standards are called units. Again I repeat, units, measurement of properties with the help of units. The definition of units: the arbitrarily decided and universally accepted standards are called units. So the definition of units is very important. Remember that definition of unit is very important in terms of exam point of view. Now units can be expressed in different ways. There are several ways which express units. So I will write the expression of units in different ways, such as number one, expression of units by using number one, CGS. Second, MKS, or we can say that SI. CGS means centimeter, gram, second, and MKS means meter, kilogram second, or it is called as SI unit. SI unit means system international, or you can say that international system of units. So centimeter for length, gram for mass, and second for time. So here meter for length, kilogram for mass, and second for time. It is also called as SI. So CGS means centimeter for length, a gram for mass, and second for time. So CGS means centimeter, gram, second, and MKS means meter, kilogram, second. Meter for length, kilogram for mass, and second for time. So this is how we consider the expression of units in a different way. Now we will see some physical properties of matter, such as mass and weight, length, volume, and later on we will see the density and the temperature. So first of all, we have to understand first three physical properties of the matter. First one is mass and weight. We know that matter has mass, so SI unit of mass is kg, but in some cases when you measure small quantities of chemicals in laboratory, we can use gram also. So conversion of kg into gram. Kg is the SI unit of mass. So 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram, or we can say that 1000 gram means 10 raised to 3 gram. The next one, length. We can use length in case of measurement of atomic radius or bond length, or measurement of wavelength of electromagnetic radiation. So SI unit of length is nanometer and picometer. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter, and 1 picometer means 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Now 1 picometer is equal to how many centimeter? 1 picometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 12 meter. Therefore 1 picometer is equal to how many centimeter? 1 picometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. So 1 picometer means how many meter? 10 raised to minus 12. But how many centimeter? 10 raised to minus 10 centimeter. So nanometer, picometer are the SI units for the length. Then third one, volume. The SI unit for volume is meter cube. But common unit also used in case of counting or measuring the volume of liquid and gases, such as liter, which is not an SI unit, but common unit liter is used in case of measurement of liquid and gases, such as liter. 1 liter means 1 dm cube. So 10 liter means equal to how many dm cube? 10 liter is equal to 10 dm cube. So 1 liter is equal to 1 dm cube. Liter is equal to dm cube. Then 1 dm cube or 1 liter is equal to 1000 ml, and 1000 ml means how many cm cube? 1000 cm cube. So liter is equal to dm cube, or we can say that ml is equal to cm cube. 1 liter is equal to 1 dm cube, or 50 liter is equal to how many dm cube? 50 dm cube. Or suppose we have 200 ml, then 200 ml is equal to how many cm cube? 200 cm cube. So liter is equal to dm cube and ml is equal to cm cube. Then my next property is temperature, and temperature means measure of hotness or coldness of an object. So we can measure temperature by using 3 scale. Number 1 degree Celsius, second one degree Fahrenheit, and last one is a Kelvin. So here we have two formulas with the help of which we can convert degree Celsius to Kelvin, and second formula by which we can convert degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. So first formula, Kelvin, K, capital K is equal to degree Celsius plus 273.15, and second formula, degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 divided by 5 into degree Celsius plus 32. Now suppose we have 30 degrees Celsius. 30 degrees Celsius. Now tell me, 30 degrees Celsius means how many Kelvin? or 30 degrees Celsius means how many Fahrenheit. How will you convert degree Celsius to Kelvin? So by using this formula, 30 degrees Celsius means dash dash Kelvin. So here we will find out 30 degrees Celsius converted to Kelvin by using this formula. So we will use this formula for the conversion of 30 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So put the value of 30 degrees Celsius in place of this. So Kelvin is equal to 30 plus 273.15 is equal to how much? 303 Kelvin, 303.15, which means 30 degrees Celsius is equal to how many Kelvin? 30 degrees Celsius is equal to 303.15 Kelvin. So we can convert degree Celsius into Kelvin by using this formula. Now 30 degrees Celsius is equal to how many Fahrenheit? So here we will use the second formula for the conversion of degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. So put the value of 30 in place of degree Celsius. So degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9 by 5 into 30, 9 by 5 into 30 plus 32 is equal to how much? 9 by 5, 5 into 6. So 9 into 6, 54, 54 plus 32 is equal to 86. So this is the conversion of Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. So 30 degrees Celsius is equal to 86 degree Fahrenheit, and 30 degrees Celsius means 303.15 Kelvin. So this is how we consider the conversion of degree Celsius to Kelvin by using this formula, and then we will convert 30 degrees Celsius into degree Fahrenheit by using second formula. Now we have last physical property of the matter, and that will be density. Fifth one, density of substance, and density is equal to mass per unit volume, mass of the substance divided by volume of the substance. So density is equal to mass of the substance divided by volume of the substance. So we can calculate density by dividing mass by volume. Now we will study the SI unit of density. What is the SI unit of density? So we can count, or we can give the SI unit of density. Mass means we know that the unit of mass, SI unit of mass, and that will be kg divided by, and we know the SI unit of volume, and that will be meter cube. Meter cube. So what will be the SI unit of density? Kg per meter cube. So this is the SI unit of density. SI means we know that System International. So what is the SI unit of density? Kg per meter cube. Why? Because SI unit of mass is kg, kilogram, and SI unit for volume is meter cube. So total, so this is SI unit of density, kg per meter cube. So what is the definition of density? Density of the substance is defined as mass of the substance divided by volume of the substance. So this is how we consider total 5 physical properties of the matter. Number 1, mass and weight. Second one is a length. Third one is a volume. Fourth one is a temperature, and last one is a density. So in this video we have seen number 1, state of matter, then measurement of properties of matter by using units, definition of unit, the arbitrarily decided and universally accepted standard are called units, and then we have discussed some major physical properties of matter.